Hi guys, Duel here. So, Animal Crossing's New Horizons for the Nintendo Switch console. It's actually a fun game, despite it being just your average farming island management game. Well, not average. It's really fun. I've actually posted a couple of my gameplay videos on the channel. Maybe by the time this video is out, I might already start editing the next episode of it. So, look out for that. I also have a playlist of it. I'm gonna link it somewhere in if it's not in this video, I'll put it down in the description below. Anyways, if you'd like what you see, consider leaving a like on the video. If it's your first time here or you just came back, subscribe to the channel. Why not? You were already coming back anyways. So, but before I do the actual game review, let me just give you a disclaimer here. This is actually the first Animal Crossing game that I have played, so I won't be able to compare this to previous Animal Crossing titles. I'll just be essentially giving you my thoughts and opinions on it as I see fit. I will look at this game as its own title without looking back at its prequel, the entirety of its series and such. So anything that I will say in this video, take it with a grain of salt. Moving on from that, Animal Crossing New Horizons is a game by Nintendo exclusively for the Nintendo Switch console. It is the 5th main game entry in the Animal Crossing series. They actually released a couple of Animal Crossing spin-off games before they released New Horizons. Some of these titles are Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer and Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. Some fans and game journalists even see that this is a good sequel to Animal Crossing New Leaf, which was released last 2012 for the Nintendo 3DS console. However, there are some ways to play Animal Crossing New Horizons in your PC. However, I think that may fall under piracy, which we won't talk about in this video. Maybe I might post it in another one, but who knows. Alright, for this review, I will be looking at these 3 criteria, namely gameplay, graphics, price. We'll be going through each of these in the video, and I'll also be explaining the game's strengths and weaknesses for each of the said criteria. And by the end of my entire explanation of the criteria, I will be giving a score from 1 to 10. These scores will be average for the final score, and I will also be giving thoughts at the end of the video. So, let us begin. Animal Crossing New Horizons is a good and relaxing game. It's certainly a good break from the fast-paced gameplay we are accustomed to in most games. The game is designed to let you feel relaxed, that's why they don't pressure the player into completing the game right away. The game is, after all, marketed as a chill island management game, with a bit of farming here and there. I appreciate the gameplay loop for its simplicity, despite sometimes being a generic farming game loop. I like the part where even if you forget to water your crops, they won't die on you. There is a downside when you don't water your plants daily. The produce that you get from the crops is significantly less than it usually is. This can affect potential bells that you can get from selling your produce in Nook's Cranny. If you're the type of player that likes to rush things, you could just time travel forward. It could break the game's time system if you do it too much, so keep that in mind. Aside from the farming aspect of the game, it also offers the option of crafting and giving gifts to your villagers. As the mayor of the island, it's all up to you on how you would want your island to look. The design of most bridges and some buildings can be customized to your liking. Even some furniture can have its color change on the workbench. The villagers have dialogues that fit their certain character type. As far as I have progressed with the game, I've liked the dialogue interaction so far. Despite not having voiceovers, you can still feel their character just from reading their lines. I did hope there would have been more drama between the villagers. They didn't interact with each other as much as I would have liked them to. There is also a maximum amount of villagers that your island can accommodate. If you want to remove a villager to your island, you can. If you want to meet new villagers. But your Animal Crossing Horizons villagers can also move out on their own. They will approach you and state that they want to move out of your island to explore new places or something around those lines. Overall, I like the gameplay offered by Animal Crossing New Horizons, but I was expecting more character from the villagers. Therefore, I'll just be giving the gameplay aspect of the game an 8 out of 10. It's good, but there is still a lot of room for improvement. This is a Nintendo Switch exclusive game, so we shouldn't expect any 4K resolution graphics from it, even if it's in docked mode. Unfortunately, Nintendo dismissed the Nintendo Switch Pro idea to make way for a new Nintendo console, so I guess we aren't going to experience smooth 60fps gameplay on the Nintendo Switch anytime soon. I think I still need to give my thoughts on it since, we have Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and Pokemon Legends Arceus out there in the market. In my opinion, those games should have been kept in development for a few more years. There are way too many graphical issues with the grass, trees, and the water. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the mechanics and gameplay, but I think the experience would have been way better if the graphics were just slightly better. I mean, I have like a lot of hours on it. If that's not enough proof, I don't know what is. From the time I've played Animal Crossing New Horizons, I haven't encountered the horror of, Pokemon Legends Arceus graphics. I like the art style that they have for the game, the player, the villagers, and even the buildings give off a calming vibe. And if the default look of the buildings isn't for you, or even if you don't like what your villagers wear, you can change it up by customizing them, or giving gifts to the villagers like clothing and such. Since I don't have any issue with the game's graphics, I'll be giving the graphical aspect of the game a 10 out of 10. The graphics are exactly what you would expect from a relaxing and calming game like Animal Crossing New Horizons, and more. If you disagree with my score, put it down in the comments and tell me your thoughts about it. Tell me why you think it should be like 1 out of 10 or something like that. Anyways, moving on. The price of the game will vary depending on what region you're from, especially when we're talking about physical copies. So for this bit of the game review, I'll be looking at e-commerce sites for the game's prices. I'll be using the Amazon and the Nintendo Shop e-commerce websites for the prices. Bear in mind that getting a digital copy of the game should be way cheaper than getting a physical one, but you might be using a big amount of your internal storage that you might need a micro SD card. So the physical copy of Animal Crossing New Horizons can be bought on Amazon for the price of $49.94. It's just a standard version of the game without any of the DLCs. If you're thinking of getting a digital copy of the game, the price really depends on what region you're in. It could range from $60 down to $40 in specific regions. However, if you're going to buy the game in the American region, you can get a digital copy of the game on Amazon for $59.99, which is kinda weird since why are you paying more for a digital copy than you would for a physical copy? Well, anyways, if you're trying to save money, you should try checking out your region's eShop. If your country allows it, you can even set your eShop region to other countries that can save you a lot of money. For my rating of this game's price, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. The game is a Nintendo franchise, which explains the hefty price tag on it. The game is pretty optimized for the Nintendo Switch, however, I dislike the idea that they're selling the digital and physical copies of the game for the same price on their official Animal Crossing New Horizons websites. Now let me give you my final breakdown and some thoughts about the game. Animal Crossing New Horizons on the Nintendo Switch is a great game. I haven't played any of the previous Animal Crossing games and I certainly enjoyed my time with New Horizons. But let me first talk about the scores that I gave earlier. The scores that I gave for the earlier criteria are as follows. Gameplay gets an 8 out of 10, graphics gets a 10 out of 10, and finally price gets an 8 out of 10. And if you take the average of all of these scores, you'll get a good 8 out of 10 score. Pretty good score if you ask me, but then again, this is going to be the first review on the channel. So I guess take it with a grain of salt. Thanks for watching my review of Animal Crossing New Horizons. As you can see, this game could be an amazing addition to your Nintendo Switch library. with its charming visuals, relaxing gameplay, and endless possibilities. Whether you're a longtime fan of the series or a newcomer like me, I highly recommend giving this game a try. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more reviews and gaming content, and let me know in the comments down below what other games you'd like to see me cover or even just play on the channel. And with that, bye bye!